and I just decided that I'm going to run, and I wanted specifically to run against Bob Singer because I just felt that Bob Singer has been in power for 29 years, and after 29 years there's just so many people that you owe favors to that I think that that's part of the reason that all the corruption is going on, part of the reason that there's so much waste going on, part of the reason that there's payments going to people that they don't deserve those payments. And that's how I ended up running for township committee. Once I started looking into things, I decided that, downtown is not my focus anymore. We're going to focus on the overall picture, which is stopping the corruption, stopping the overspending, and I just feel that once we do that, that's going to lower people's taxes automatically. As I explained in a few articles, there's 3 different levels to lowering taxes. The first level is obviously just to stop the waste, stop the corruption, and that's going to lower people's taxes, probably by not much. The other level is that once we get in there, we could do an assessment of all the spending, where we're spending our money, and decide how we're going to spend our money, and not spend the money like somebody pointed out to me. They had a very good way of looking at it. They said, my wife doesn't go shopping and spend $10,000 and say, here, now go make me $10,000. We have a budget, and we decide what we're going to spend it on. And I think, unfortunately, that until now, the township, the way it's been working is they'd say, like, okay, we need new cars, we need this, we need this, we need this, and then let's tax the people to pay for all those things. It's not the way it's done. If you look at other townships, they have older cars, they have older equipment. They spend what they can afford. They don't spend and then say, let's tax everybody accordingly. So that's the second level, is if we just say, this is what we can afford, and we're going to tax accordingly. And then the third level, which I explained, was the mayor of Manalapan has a great idea, which is an old idea that I'm familiar with from California, which was Proposition 13, which is actually getting the school budget off of the property tax. Property taxes shouldn't be paying for school budgets. And the reason is because when you own a home, and you are able to afford a home for $50,000, well, when your home becomes worth $500,000, why should you be taxed for that? It's a regressive tax. It doesn't make any sense. Why should you be paying, if all I could afford was $50,000 for my house, well, 20 years from now, I'm paying $5,000 a year for that house. I'm paying 10% of the cost of that house every single year. So they want to make the school funding funded by the state. They want to make it a straight number that's paid for by the state, divided by the state. And then I think there was an $8 billion amount that they can't pay for, so they would have to put some sort of a tax on income, which makes sense, because if you're a person who makes $1 million a year, so you'll pay $5,000. That's fair. But if you're a person that's making $50,000 a year and your house is worth $150,000, well, that hurts to pay that much money, so much money in taxes.
How are you going to address that on the local municipal level?
Well, no, it's an idea. This mayor in Manalapan is starting a steering committee. In other words, it's similar to like what they want to do with vouchers, right? They want to make vouchers, but that's not going to happen so fast because you're going to have the ACLU and you're going to have the teachers union. No, but we can join. Oh, so this is what I'm trying to explain. We can join the steering committee. Nobody has ever proposed joining the steering committee, and Lakewood, I think, would be a great asset to the steering committee because Lakewood is a prime example of a community that's just being killed by paying. If we're on that steering committee, I mean, I personally, I know I would work tirelessly to work with this mayor to really push it. And I think maybe we can actually get something done. And now that we have Governor Christie in office, he's definitely the man to get this done. And we have a good chance. I'm not saying it can definitely get done, but this has a much better chance of happening than vouchers, because it's not an issue of separation of church and state, and you don't have any issues of, you're not going to have the ACLU on your tail, you're not going to have the teachers unions on your tail. It's been done. It has been done in California. People were paying taxes through the roof, and eventually taxes just got cut in half through Proposition 13.
Given the demographics of Lakewood, of who's working and who's not working, you feel an income tax for a local municipality is fair?
No, it's not going to be local. It's going to be a state income tax. The way it works is that it's going to be a state income tax that will be made in order to make up for the $8 billion that they would be missing by dividing the...
Which share is going to go to Lakewood?
Every student is going to get a certain amount of money. The state is going to say, this is how much...
How you feel about many of these houses that have tenants of 13, 14, 18, 20 people They're paying tax on a one-family house. As far as I'm concerned, they should be paying a tax as a business or an apartment house.
Well, actually,
Not as just
right.
a one-family house, and especially where a lot of them are such old, dilapidated houses, they're paying very little in taxes.
Correct. Well, actually, a lot of them should be closed down.